Coming in at number 5, we have the Jungle Carbine, or the Jungle Carbine, whichever you want to call it, and this is going to be the best and most aggressive bolt action weapon in the entirety of Battlefield 5 across all different weapon classes. This is the most aggressive bolt action gun you can choose and go with, and is also therefore the best bolt action gun you can go with in the medic class. It's like a mini pocket sniper, if you like, and therefore you get unlimited heals while also being able to run around and be aggressive. Its massive benefits in comparison to all other bolt action guns in the game include it has 10 rounds, which is the highest amount of ammo capacity any bolt action gun in this game has got. It also has a great reload time, which is mainly attributed to the fact that the sight is not blocking the receiver and therefore the port where the bullets are going to be loaded into the gun, and therefore you can now load 5 round stripper clips into the gun, whereas with most other bolt action snipers you have to load individual bullets. And even further, the gun has one of, if not the highest fire rate out of all the bolt action guns in the game, so if you're not going for headshots, you can easily hit 2 body shots faster than any other bolt action gun in the game, and this means you can win way more gunfights, especially when you're using this gun as an aggressive sniper. And lastly, the main reasons why the gun is considered very overpowered is because of great bullet velocity to track targets at range, as well as having a very good damage output at range, meaning you can maintain one-shot headshots for a very good and long distance, way further than the other bolt action guns in its class, being the Tromboncino and the Commando Carbine. Coming in at number 4, we have got the Sten. Now, I'm sure this is going to be a massive shock to a lot of you, and you're going to be going, what the hell are you choosing this gun for? There's way better options, and the Well gun, for example, is such a similar gun, and many consider it to be better in every other way. However, I will live and die by this gun, and I'm sure as well you will know how many times you've been beamed by low-level players using the Sten, and there's a reason why the Sten is one of the first guns that you unlock in this game, the same as the Sturmgewehr, is because it is a very good gun, and they want to give every player who starts the game a chance to use a good gun against the other players who are obviously higher level and have leveled up to be able to unlock and use other weapons. Furthermore, this is the first gun in Battlefield 5 where I was able to hit 3 back-to-back 100 plus kill games, and that was done with the Sten. The videos are here on the channel as proof if you want to go and search them up, and I really do live and die by this gun. The Sten excels in every single department. It has a really good reload time with a 32 round magazine, which again is very good considering it has a low fire rate, and although it hasn't got 50 rounds like a Tommy gun or a Sumi, that lower fire rate means that you're going to be way more accurate and you're still going to be able to hit as many bullets on target and get as many kills as you could with a 50 round magazine of some of the other medic guns. Its iron sight is incredibly clean, especially when you choose the correct barrel, because the barrel you choose does change the iron sight that you can use. And its recoil pattern is very manageable, especially with it having an incredible tap fire as well, so you can be very effective at long range, which again is my main principle in Battlefield 5. In at number 3, we've got the grease gun. Of course, I'm not using the suppressor. I never want to use the suppressor because I want to be loud, because I want enemies to be attracted to where I am, so that the enemies come to me and I have to spend less time running to get kills. So if you're wondering why I'm not using a suppressor when everybody else seems to use one, that is why. The grease gun is very similar to the Sten in a few different ways. One being its magazine size of 30 rounds is very close to the Sten, which has 32 rounds. You also have its low fire rate. However, the grease gun does have a more awkward recoil pattern, having more horizontal recoil, but the grease gun makes up for that in really, really good damage, and it hits very hard, which makes it one of the best and most aggressive guns you can use in the game with a low fire rate, and it means at close range the horizontal recoil becomes non-existent because of course the recoil bounces left and right. However, if you are close, then the recoil pattern is still going to always hit the enemy, so you're not going to have the horizontal recoil shooting bullets to either side of the enemy, and therefore as well the low fire rate means you can maintain a high accuracy, which with 30 rounds, high damage and high accuracy means you can mow down a lot of players very quick at close range. And of course, what makes the grease gun very special is it is one of the only, if not the only, fully automatic gun which you can put a suppressor on through choosing the correct specializations in the specialization tree, and this makes it perfect gun for massive and huge flanks where you can kill huge amounts of enemies in the game, because of course when you have suppressor and you're shooting at the enemies, then they're not going to get hit markers and will not know where the shots are coming from. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Tommy gun. Of course, this gun has got to be in here because it excels in every single different department. We can start by saying how it's got a 50 round drum magazine when you choose the correct specialization, which allows you to have clips like this where you go on a flank and you're able to take on 4, 5, 6 enemies with that 50 round magazine. So absolutely perfect for being aggressive and being able to take on multiple enemies before needing to find the time to reload. It's got a great time to kill with a great fire rate. As well as having a semi-automatic mode option if you hold down triangle or Y on your controller, and obviously this means it gives it a long range capability with tap fire. And that is all you need to know about the Tommy gun. It excels in every single different way. The only way it could benefit is from being much better at long range, but that is not the purpose of the gun. And in at number 1, of course, it's going to be the ZK383. Every single person could bet their house, everything they've got on this gun being the best gun in the medic class. But not only that, the ZK383 is the most overpowered gun in the game and therefore is the best gun in Battlefield 5 in my opinion, and this is why. Firstly, it's got 30 rounds in the magazine, which is standard and is able to compete with all the other SMGs in the game. Secondly, it's got a very good and quick reload time. Third, it's got great bullet velocity, which contributes to its true time to kill, which therefore means it's going to have a quicker time to kill thanks to that quicker bullet velocity. In fourth, you're then going to think about the fire rate. It's got a very high fire rate, which again contributes to that very quick time to kill. Fifth, you've got to then talk about the fact that the recoil pattern is, again, kicks up and to the right, but is very manageable on those higher FOVs, and with a little bit of practice pulling down on the right stick, the recoil can become non-existent. Sixth, it has a crazy damage output when you also factor in its high fire rate and its high bullet velocity. And not only that, if you want to think about this gun, how can it be also useful at long range? 1, you've got a bipod. 2, you've got the semi-automatic fire mode, which you can put it into as well. And 3, you've got the specialization tree, which can go with the slow fire rate, which gives you 40 rounds in the magazine. And the slow fire rate option makes the ZK383 also one of the most, if not the most accurate gun in the game. It's hands down the best in every single way for its class. And that wraps it up for this video for the top 5 medic weapons in Battlefield 5, in my opinion. Of course, I've done 100 kills with every single gun in Battlefield 5, so I truly do believe that I've got a fair opinion on these, of course. And so hopefully I've done well. Please leave a comment with your rating out of 5 for my top 5, as well as leaving a list of your top 5 medic weapons in the game. And I'll have the next videos out soon for the support, scout and assault class top 5. But yeah, without further ado, I will see you on the next one.
Yeah, I've been running and running to keep it 100, it's all that I wanted. But lately I don't get the stomach. The higher the summit, the harder the plummet. They know me all over this planet. I'm just a man and I can't understand it. Proud that I